Hey homemakers, welcome to another day. I hope you are all doing well. I hope that this weather is treating you well. It is very nice where I am. We decided this past weekend that we would go camping, so I needed to take a little bit of family time, and I'm back this week. I'm inspired by one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name's Amy Marianne. She has a big family. She likes to cook in a massive bulk, which I love to do, but I don't always necessarily need to. So this week I decided to, in her words, gather up my fragments. I took all the little bits and pieces of food that I had, and I'm going to make meals out of them and use them up, freeze them, or prep them for another time. I did pull out a couple turkeys this week. I am working on thawing those, so I'm going to process those this week to use for meat because turkeys take up a lot of space, and we're getting closer to fall, so that means I am going to be doing soups and udon and ramen and everything of that. So I need to make big batches of turkey broth with the help of my hubby. He is awesome at making broth with me. I want to take you along this week. We are going to do, like I said, we're going to gather up our fragments, so it's just going to be a lot of me throwing stuff together. I have a few projects going around the house today. I may show that, I may not. We'll see kind of how the day rolls. If you're new here, I'm Brianna. I'm a homeschooling mama too. My husband works full-time, and I'm a modern homemaker. I love to share all the little tips and tricks and things that you may not know or didn't have anyone to teach you. I am not a perfect mom, and my house is not always clean. We're just gonna throw that out there. And I don't really feel bad because I'm a mom and life happens. So you will see a messy kitchen. You'll see dirty stuff in the background. It is what it is. That's just how it is here. So thank you for joining me. If you are not new here, thank you for always coming back. I appreciate you all. Please let your friends know. Please like and subscribe. Find me on Instagram at nebraskanwife, also on Facebook at nebraskanwife. I'll try to keep it updated and post as often as I can, but like I said, mom life, and you just never know what you're gonna get. Some weeks I am totally on the ball. Other weeks I am totally off that ball napping. Stay tuned and follow along my day. Love our mugs. This is a little ridiculous, honestly, but I had to do a full clean out of our car. You know how life gets. My favorite ones are those giant ones for the summer. This is the project for today. I'm making a huge batch of hamburger rolls. I tried a new recipe this time, and I'm really, really excited about it. They turned out so great. I mean, look how perfectly brown they are. This is the closest I've ever gotten to actual like bakery breads, so I was very excited. They're nice and soft. You can see how squishy they are. Little pro tip, if you brush them with butter, it makes all the difference so they don't get that hard and crustiness on them. I'll link the recipe down below if you would like to use it. So the first day, this is how I used up some leftover pork fried rice. I put some eggs in salsa with some cheese on top of mine. Makes it super great, quick, easy for some leftover to kind of revamp what's left over. The kids, I just added some taco seasoning and a little cheese. This in turn makes your awesome nachos. Okay. Here I went through and cut up a giant cantaloupe, some carrots, cauliflower. I got 2 heads of cauliflower because that's a favorite in our house. So that way the kids can just grab and go and eat whenever they are hungry. This lasted a long time in relative terms. I mean, you know how kids are. I did get a few extra tomatoes, so we're making fried green tomatoes. Lunch one day, I just used some leftover sausage. You can see my YouTube playing in the background there. I went ahead and made some leftover sausage, and I did also make up some extra little hoagie buns to use for another recipe. Don't mind the look of my stove. I'm in the process of needing to repaint it. Here is some leftover brownies from my freezer. I will show you what I'm going to do with those later. So to prep for my husband, I make these subs, and you mix a stick of butter and cream cheese, a little onion powder, garlic powder, and some Italian seasoning. Mix that up, and you just put on your sandwiches. This is really great if you're making freezer meat sandwiches. It doesn't soak into the bread like mayo would when you freeze it. This is a nice, you can also put this on those hoagies with meat and cheese and wrapping them in foil and put them in the oven for hot sandwiches. Really simple recipe. You can't really go wrong with this. Flavor it how you like. Here I'm prepping a bunch of lunches for my husband. He likes little smokies. He works at 2 a.m. So, well, leaves for work at 2 a.m. So I am not getting up to pack his lunch. I always like to throw it in the night before. Here I'm just portioning out one of the big bags of little smokies from Sam's and then making little packets that I can just pull out. Makes it quick, makes it easy. I throw it in a little container so that way we don't worry about it leaking everywhere. Anytime you can prep your meals, it's great. Normally I would put these in little baggies, but I didn't have any. I have a massive amount of foil right now, so this is just what I used. All I did as well was labeled my bags, my Ziploc bags that they went in, so that way I could look in my freezer and I knew exactly what was in there, even though you think you can always tell, but sometimes you question what you put into your bag in the fridge or freezer. After this, I'm gonna get some lunch things ready for him as well as for my kiddos. I wanted some make ahead stuff. I have a little warming box that I can just throw in any food in the morning and it'll be warm by lunch. You can also similarly do this with a crock pot. Set it on warm, warm up your lunch and have it go. Anytime you can do these simple prep aheads is great. Try to stack it everything as compact as you can. Get all the air out. Make sure that it stacks easily. Now we're going to go ahead and make up some tortilla pizza pockets for my husband. This is a play on Hot Pockets. Normally he likes ham and cheese, but I did have a bunch of pepperonis left over and some sauce that needed to be used up. All you're going to do is take your tortilla, put some sauce on, throw some cheese, throw some pepperoni, fold it up, wrap it individually into your foil, and you are completely done. That's it. You can do this with anything really. Like I said, you can do it with just ham and cheese. You can make a breakfast one to make egg ham and cheese, egg sausage, egg bacon. Sky's the limit here. Now, I did try starting, I was going to put a little water around the edges, thinking that's the way I was going to do this, and I was going to crimp it. Didn't really work. I decided just to end up folding it and calling it a day. I realized I didn't really have time to be doing all that. So I went ahead. Now the kids you'll see later, I did end up cooking theirs. I kind of wish I would have cooked these. Next time I probably will for sure. Here's some little meatballs I made up to go with sliders. Here is some leftover brownies to make a trifle. It's just brownies, fruit of choice. I put some graham cracker for some crunch. I layer on some Bavarian cream. And at the very end, I made another layer of that, and then went ahead and threw on some whipped cream. You can put anything in there that you want. Here I am making some scalloped potatoes. I think they're 3 cheese. I didn't want to deal with making them on the actual stove, and I didn't have time to be sitting over the stove, so I just threw them in my crock pot. Don't mind my stove. That is getting redone this week. The paint is all discolored and chipping, and I need to fix it. So that will get done this week. All you do is just follow the box directions, mix everything in, set it on high, set it to go. I kind of wish I would have let my butter and water melt up and heat up first and then add the potatoes, but I was just too lazy and I didn't want to wait. There you go. Great value, 3 cheese. These are just some I had left over. Here I am going through and breaking up a big 5-pound bag of cheese from Sam's. This is the cheapest option for me this week to get cheese in bulk. I knew I was going to be using a lot of it. Be sure to check your stores. If you do not shop at Sam's, that's fine. Look at your stores of block price versus bag price. 9 times out of 10, it's cheaper to get block over bag. Walmart, I feel like lately they're pretty even. Sam's, it was vastly cheaper to get the bag over the block. Here I'm making the kids pizza pockets. Sorry for the train in my background. Just sauce and cheese, and then you'll see me on a little assembly line cooking them up. My cat wanted a little cheese. When doing the cheese pricing, just look at your stores. I know Aldi, it is vastly cheaper for me to get blocks over bags. So the simple prep for the week is all I do is shred it all up, season it if I want to put something in it, or throw it in my freezer. However I want to process it, just go ahead and do that at the beginning of your week, and then you won't have to worry about it. So here you can see I'm doing my little assembly line, rolling them as I come forward, putting them in as they're done. Just put it on low heat. Add a little tiny bit of butter if you need to. And just keep on rolling. This actually cooks up really fast. As long as you have everything out and ready to go. I knew about how many I had. Here is my favorite part. It is dessert. I am doing our favorite family ice cream. All you do is take the small carton of heavy whipping cream, 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. Make sure it's sweetened and not evaporated milk. You need the sweetened to obviously make it sweeter. Then you will add vanilla. This will create your vanilla base. If you want to go with chocolate, then you want to add your chocolate syrup. All you do is whip up the heavy whipping cream. Make sure to not whip it too far, otherwise it'll start looking curdly and it'll look like butter, because it will be butter. Congratulations, you made butter. You can see on my spatula there, I mean, it is very nice and smooth. So you add in, which I almost forgot, add in your sweetened condensed milk, and you'll see that I add in my vanilla here. Just do it to taste. Once you've done this, you're just going to pour it into your container of choice and let it freeze. I'd make this in the morning, and then it should be ready by dinner. Otherwise, you can make it ahead another day and eat it the next day. If you're going to do any mix-ins, I would highly suggest to do them after the ice cream has frozen a little bit, just to make sure that they do not fall. You can put just about anything in this, honestly. My family prefers the vanilla because it's plenty rich, plenty sweet. You can see how smooth this is. Not gonna lie, it tastes great at this stage. We have eaten it slightly cooled. And you just smooth it out. Pour your container, and of course, whoever makes it gets to lick it. So I hope you enjoyed this gathering up of my fragments of the week. Just a few little ideas. I will include any recipes or anything down below. And as you can see, my lid doesn't fit on this. Typical, I couldn't find my lid. Thanks for joining me. I hope you like and subscribe. Find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook at nebraskanwife. Tell your friends, and I hope to see you next time.